Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at a method that its own creator says is the biggest leap in human thinking in more than 2,000 years. It's called the Six Thinking Hats, and honestly, it's just a brilliantly simple tool for making all of our discussions, meetings, and even our own personal thinking way more productive. All right, let's get into it. So, just how productive are we talking? Well, how about this number? In one major study, bringing in the Six Hats method boosted thinking productivity by a staggering 493%. No, that is not a typo. I mean, we get excited about gains of 5 or 10%, but this is on another planet. It really makes you wonder, why are so many of our meetings just a total mess? Why do we end up just talking in circles? Well, Edward de Bono, the guy who designed this whole system, he argues it's because we are trying to do way too much at once. It's like we're trying to juggle a dozen different balls in our head at the same time. Okay, so to really understand the solution here, we first have to get a handle on the problem. And according to de Bono, the problem is that the main way we've been taught to think for centuries, the classic argument method, is actually terrible for making any kind of constructive progress. This right here, this just nails that feeling of total mental overload, doesn't it? We're trying to process the facts, manage how we feel about it, come up with new ideas, and judge all the risks all at the same time. Our brains just aren't wired to be pulled in all those directions at once. It's no wonder we get completely stuck. So for literally thousands of years, our go-to model has been the argument. It's adversarial, right? The whole point is to prove who's right and who's wrong. De Bono comes along and suggests something totally different, what he calls parallel thinking. And here the goal isn't to fight, it's to explore. The question totally changes from who is right to something way more useful. What is the best way forward? So what in the world does this parallel thinking actually look like in practice? Well, it's a huge shift from confrontation to cooperation. And it's all built around a really simple, really clever metaphor.
Think about it like this. Imagine four people looking at a house. One is at the front, one's at the back, two are on the sides, and they're all arguing that their view is the correct view of the house. That's traditional argument. In parallel thinking, all four of those people walk around to the front and look at it together. Then they all move to the right side, together, then the back. They are exploring the whole subject cooperatively, side by side.
And that is the core idea right there. Instead of people taking opposite views just for the sake of argument, we get the full benefit of everyone's brain power, all of their experience, all focused in a single direction at a time. You end up exploring the entire subject fully and incredibly quickly. Okay, but you might be thinking, if you get rid of the argument, what structures the conversation? It's a great question. You need some kind of simple, clear directions for thinking, and that, right there, is where the hats come in. And this brings us to the main event, the core tool for directing our thinking, a set of 6 symbolic thinking hats. Each hat has a different color, and each color represents a specific type or direction of thinking. They're the practical, hands-on tool for making parallel thinking happen. So here's a quick look at the whole set. We've got the white hat for the pure facts, red for emotions, black for caution and risk, yellow for benefits, green for creativity, and the blue hat for controlling the whole process. Now, let's break down what each of these really does. First up, we have to separate the facts from the feelings. The white hat is all about neutral, objective information, just the data, like a computer spitting out a report. The red hat, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It gives you full permission for emotions, for hunches, for gut feelings, and you never have to justify them. By giving feelings their own special channel, we stop them from secretly messing with our logic. Next, we've got the pear for judgment. The black hat is the caution hat. It's serious, it's careful, and it's focused on all the risks and all the reasons why something might not work. This is basically our critical thinking voice. Its partner is the yellow hat, which is sunny and optimistic. It looks exclusively at the benefits and the value in an idea. By splitting them up, we avoid that classic problem where a brand new idea gets shot down before anyone even has a chance to explore the good parts. And finally, we have the hats for generating new things and for organizing the whole discussion. The green hat is pure creativity. Think of it like fertile green growth. This is where we brainstorm new ideas, new possibilities, new alternatives, with absolutely zero judgment. And then, watching over everything, is the cool, calm blue hat. Think of it as the conductor of the orchestra. It manages the thinking process itself, it decides which hat to use next, it sets the agenda, and it sums everything up at the end.
Now, here is the secret sauce. This is what makes the whole system so powerful. This is not about assigning roles like, okay, Bob, you're the black hat guy. No way. The real magic happens when everyone in the room puts on the same hat at the same time. For the next 2 minutes, everybody is focused only on the benefits. Then, on cue, everybody switches to focus only on the risks. That is real parallel thinking.
And when you actually apply this simple discipline, what happens? Well, the results are pretty mind-blowing. Let's take a look at some of the real-world outcomes that major companies have reported. Check this out. The huge multinational corporation ABB reported this incredible result. A project discussion that they had scheduled for 30 full days was actually completed in just 2. That is a 93% reduction in time. And it's not a one-off thing. A researcher from a top lab at IBM said that using the hats cut their meeting times down to just 1/4 of what they used to be. A 75% reduction. I mean, just imagine for a second getting that much time back in your week. So how on earth does it work so well?
Well, the benefits really boil down to 4 main things. It gives you power because you're using everyone's full intelligence in the same direction. It saves time because you just get rid of all that unproductive argument. And this is huge. It removes ego. The focus shifts from trying to be right to just exploring the subject. And finally, it gives you clarity because you're only tackling one thing at a time, which gets rid of all that confusion.
You know, when you really get down to it, what this is all about is a shift in focus. Our traditional thinking gets so stuck just analyzing what is. The 6 hats method is a constructive tool. It's all about designing what can be. It gives us a simple, practical language for building a path forward together. So the next time you find yourself in a really tough meeting, or maybe you're just thinking through a complex problem by yourself, remember you have this toolkit. You don't have to try and do everything at once. You just have to decide, which hat are you going to put on first?